up, y'all? And welcome everybody to the PullUp Experience podcast edition. Now, y'all know I stay with a good treat for y'all, but it's something about being in the industry, highlighting, showcasing entrepreneurs and the different great things in the city that just does something for me. This man right here to my left does it every single time. Now, you might not see his face a lot because he's always behind the camera, but this man right here to put on some great episodes, whether it's on Tubi, YouTube, whatever it is. This one right here is the one that captures the moment, captures the story, and is able to tell it in such a way that highlights Cleveland, showcases all of the talent, whether it's the artists or the actors, even some of the dancers, because we got some good ones out here, right? This man is Johnny Filmworks, best known to you guys. Now, if y'all haven't already, I want y'all to go and stream Scam Likely. It's one of the Cleveland classics because it literally goes all over the city. From 185th to Lakewood Park. There's somewhere memorable that you will be able to say, hey, I know that place, or hey, I know that person. This one right here brings everybody together, grows us, teaches us everything we need to know. And if you're like me and you ain't got that much talent, but you might look good in the background as an extra, that's the one you want to call, y'all. So I'm going to have all this information in the description below. But, Johnny, introduce yourself to the people.
That was a great intro. I appreciate that.
Every time.
Yep. I am Johnny Filmworks, CEO of HWIC Filmworks. And I have a co-owner, my cousin, David C. Snyder. So he's the one that actually is the camera guy, you know what I'm saying, edits. But, HWIC Filmworks. We're making movies and we're consistently making movies. That's all we do. That's all we do. So, yeah.
I love it. Okay, so I want to jump right in because y'all know I'm nosy.
Right.
What made you start in the first place? Just saying, hey, I'm about to go and just tell these stories.
So it's funny because it's such a new industry. Like, especially the new world, it's like the wild, wild west with streaming, right? Because DVDs really just ended. I mean, they're still around, but they really ended like 2015, 16 and stuff. So me and my cousin and his two brothers started making movies as kids. I was 9, he was 12.
Wow.
And we had the old VHS, I hope you had an older audience here. I don't know the audience, everyone would know what that is, right? So funny story was, his dad was a golf pro at a country club, right? So they got a camera to film his golf swing. Yeah. And it never got filmed one time. They took that camera and started making movies, and that's all we did was make movies. Every time I'd see him, man, they lived in Pittsburgh, right? So whenever we meet up, we would make movies. So we did like, God, I'm trying to think like. So my grandma had this big wheel at her house, and one of the first movies was Death Big Wheel, and it was called. And we used like the soundtrack to Back to the Future and stuff. Let me tell you something crazy. Now this is how, because remember back then you couldn't edit. You didn't have nowadays you can edit right now on your phone, right? Back then he would have 2 VCRs that he would pause and record, and that's how he would edit. Word to God.
That's dedication right there.
Shout out to Dave Snyder. As a kid.
Right? As a kid. And then we never stopped. We kind of kept doing it. Now, he stuck with it, and he would just take odd jobs and make movies, and he also did music because like edit, what I'm saying, produce and stuff like that. And so I went to Cleveland State, did some different things and stuff like that, real estate. And then 2008 we came back together and we're like, man, we need to be doing movies. You know what I'm saying? That's what we really need to be doing, because we were seeing how everything's starting to, well, you got to remember, up until 2001 or 2, like, you had to get the film developed, and that cost to do a movie was $50,000 minimum to get it done. So we didn't have that kind of money, right? So we went on to, like, we saw that coming, and then we went and started doing that. Well, he ended up around 2003 or 4. He's a real big old school hip hop fan, so he was friends. He was cool with he got cool with Chuck D from Public Enemy, right? They became like they're actually real close. Like, Chuck came to his wedding and everything. They're cool like that,
dope. And
that's why Chuck was in Swing Low and Heights Girl for us. That's why he did it for free. He actually did it for free.
That's dope.
So he got into that, and then like I said, 2008, 2009, we said, let's just start making movies. He was doing music videos and stuff, and then I said, let's just start making movies, man. And then we made this movie called The Quiet Arrangement. That was our first film, and it was it was the only one that wasn't urban. It was like we were just trying to. That was like our film school, you know. But we also did 80 short films before we ever made a feature film.
Okay.
So all these, you know, not to get like funny, but all these people, I want to make a feature. Just like, dude, are you willing to put that work in?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's really about the doing. It's not really about you know. Because I mean, we get into that later, but you know, so our first movie was Quite Arrangement, and then we did Swing Low, Sweet Chariot in 2012. Came out in 2013, and then DVDs were still a thing, and then it went viral in the streets. And then, but nobody knew it was us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, people just finding out now we did Swing Low. We'll get like on our Instagram, like, oh, you guys did this? You know, scam likely people, you know. So that went crazy in the streets and stuff like that. And then we did Heights Girl. If you did that in 2015.
Oh, y'all did Heights Girl.
See what I mean? People don't know. I made it. I made a lawyer in it. Yeah.
Oh, so now you are.
Yeah. I played a lawyer. My hair was shorter, but yeah.
Okay.
And then we did a little thing called Wine and Gossip. That did really well. It was funny. It was another wine company, and I think in like Maple or something that one of the writers knew, right? And then she got us on with them, and then we used their wine. And we were do part 2. We're here.
Lena wine.
Yeah, it was Lena.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were the only ones back then.
And then that's what she told me at the time. Yep, she told me that. I remember we were in their little thing they had in Maple, or whatever, and we shot a little show. It was like 45. It's on Tubi now, and then Heights Girl 2, and then now Scam Likely. So that's where we're at now. And then now the new one's Locked In. So it's gonna be a thriller, urban thriller.
I love a
thriller. Yeah. We love a thriller.
No, listen, that's what's up.
Yeah.
And I especially was waiting for this episode because like I am me and my girl, we watch a lot of movies.
Okay.
We do, and we love movies, like the writing, the character arc, the actual development of the character.
Sure, got something in common with that, huh?
Yeah, no, listen, like we'll see a preview, like we already know how the movie's gonna go, you know,
right?
Because we'll see it, right?
Right.
But I think people don't understand, like, making film is an art to it. It's not just something you just do, like, you know, randomly. Like,
right.
Do this.
Sure.
So tell the people about how, like you said, you guys did 80 short films before you even guys made a feature film.
Yes, and I think people don't realize that, like, you know, you get these film people and they're like, we're gonna make a feature film, we're gonna do this and that, and it's like anything else, man. You got to be consistent with what you're doing. You guys know as entrepreneurs, like, it's the, you know, what am I trying to say? Is like, it's the doing and to keep doing, even when you don't see the result. You know what I'm saying?
Even when you don't see the result.
Right? You got to keep going. You just got to keep at it and go. And it's like, you know, doing all those short films is kind of like what got us to where we are now. I mean, you got to keep rolling with it. So, you know, you got to think in decades versus months and years.
Right,
everybody like, you know, people get that, like, it'd be like they do their first movie or their first short film, it's like, oh, I did it, all right. Then they don't do it for another 10 years. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep at that, and you got to refine your system, momentum. You got to refine your system, your processes, your team super. There's so many variables in a movie. You got your prop people, you got your wardrobe. I was on the phone with them today about the new. You know what I mean? Like, you got your, you know, production designers, you got your sound person, your cinematographer. You know what I mean? You got all these people, and then and you're trying to build the best team you can. But then on top of the actors, who never schedules are ever the same. Like swear to God, man, you can't schedule people for shit. Like, actors, just like, you know, and always be like the worst reasons. You know what I'm saying? And then from a marketing standpoint, which is my favorite thing, because I'm into that. I think what we've gotten to where we're at is, you know, when you think about movies, and we're all old enough to remember the video store.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. God forbid I go out with a chick in her 20s and she's like, "What's a video store?"
What's your video?
It's so crazy because there's so many questions for so many things, and you're like, "Oh my God!"
But when you go to the video store, the first thing somebody would ask, I'm sure you guys remember, was they look at, what about this? Like, who's in it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I started really realizing, like, it really matters who you have in your movie. So when you get people that have a following and there's a level of popularity, it helps your marketing because it's just more eyeballs.
The bomb drop right there.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. More eyeballs on it. So and if people get mad about, well, there's a reason they got popular because they worked at something. Whether it was, you know, like in the last movie I had Rip Flames in it, right? Now he never acted, but he had, you know, all his music.
He never acted.
I think he did a good job. Yeah. He was in Ray Jr., but only for a second. So it was real only first role. And, you know, but Rip made all that music to get to where he's at, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he just became popular one day. You know, these guys, these people work at what they do to become a certain level, and then by us being able to put them in the movie, you know what I'm saying? Now they have to be able to act, but I'm just saying, like, that does matter. Whether people want to say not, because people are like, oh, Cleveland's popular, and I'm like, dude, the entertainment business is a popularity contest. You know what I mean? But Brad Pitt's because, you know, or Kevin Hart because of who, you know what I'm saying? So it's not just Cleveland, it's everywhere, but and not that I only cast popular people. I'm just saying that you have to think of your marketing before you right. There's a whole strategy going into the movie of how you're gonna get it.
Even the podcast, like we do a podcast, like right. we want to give everybody a chance to be fair and whatnot, but yeah, you're right. Some people bring in numbers, you know.
Yeah,
and bringing eyeballs,
their own following with them. So
correct.
What he said. Y'all just heard. Rewind it if you didn't. But that's the power of influencer marketing. Yes. Understanding that from starting your marketing plan. And he also touched on, which I want to repeat, was just being just as consistent as you are persistent. Because a lot of us get there and don't keep going. We get there and we kind of plateau where it's like, you here, but this is like your resting stop. Let's keep going because there's so much more to see on the journey of it all. So thank you for starting off with it.
And not the result. You don't see the result right away. It's like you got to keep going. It might take years and decades to get to, if you love what you do, that's why you got to love what you do.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just going to quit.
It is because sometimes you get to that plateau and it's like, okay, sometimes you just, and I call it, I'll come in and talk to them and I'll be like, I lost my mojo. I feel like I lost my mojo right now. You know what I'm saying? Right. And people don't know that it takes, sometimes that's when you got to bring in your friends. You got to bring in everybody and they talk to you and they get, and you be like, or you might see something. Yeah. And that's where collaboration over competition comes in. You might see something that inspires you, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think of that. Or, hey, that's why you got to watch the podcast.
Period.
Because you may need to hear something or see something that will trigger you again and you get back to it. And sometimes it's even stronger.
Yeah. And also not getting to your ego so much that when somebody does give you some advice, you don't, I know everything. You can't do, that's a big one I see. Right. I know it all, so I don't need to hear, you know what I mean? I mean, sometimes people give you bad advice.
Everybody is teachable.
That's true.
Everybody.
Oh, God, definitely. Most definitely. Yeah.
So I got a question. Because, like, y'all could have went to New York. Y'all could have went to... Because, like, a lot of... Y'all could have went to Atlanta. Y'all could have went to so many other cities and whatnot to start filming and whatnot. But y'all kept it here in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all, first of all,
about that.
Appreciate what made y'all do that? What made y'all keep it here?
Well, first off, I want to say thank you because Clevelanders always compliment me behind my back. Nobody ever wants to say to my back. Like once in a while, I'm like, thanks for doing but they'll be like, man, he's really doing it. And I'll be hearing from other people. That's weird like that. I don't care. I'm just saying. But so there's a lot of reasons for that, and that's a good question because everybody thinks go to LA or go. Right. First off, if you're in LA, everybody's making it, right? I mean, your competition's like. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no, same, now Atlanta's starting to get like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It is.
All the actors that have, just to make this point before I tell you more, every actor we've had that went to LA or Atlanta, I think all of them have pretty much failed. You know what I mean? But they didn't come back or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like,
it's different.
Well, they think they get this ego, like, because it's entertainment, right? They don't know, but I'll do this, I was in this Cleveland movie that was big, so now I can, Tyler Perry could have plucked me out. You know how that goes, right? And so, no, come back to HWIC film where I'm always like, come back to daddy, you know where it's at, you know what I'm saying? You know where it's at.
The prodigal son.
You're right, the godfather of Cleveland film. But here's a couple reasons. Number one, I saw a void in the marketplace at Cleveland urban film because here's what I saw. I've seen all the rappers, seeing all the I'm like, well, they would it's got to be a film in this here somewhere. And I saw it but nobody had the ability to make them. We did. I knew we could at least at the time, and so I saw that. Number two, the amount of entertainment talent in Cleveland is ridiculous. I mean, I could have And nothing against Buddy Bunch, she did a great job in Scam Likely, but I'm sure I could have found 30 other, and people that could have played it in a different way than her. Yeah. I mean, she killed it, but I'm just saying,
there's so much talent out
There's so much talent here, you know what I mean? And then to further back it up, by there not being any film companies, we automatically rise to the,
You got top dog right now.
I mean, there's really nobody, there's a few people making them, but not like we're consistently, So I saw that, and then the other thing was crews and stuff, so it's easy to shoot here. So if I need a wine shop, you know what I mean? Like if I need, because it's a win-win. I'm promoting her place while I'm using her place, or you got to know how to make win-wins and not win-losses. You can do that here a lot, man.
That was a bum.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so it creates all these win-wins because you're able to showcase locations, actors, and then the crew. Here's another thing: I need to keep them under the budget at a certain level because you don't only make so much. To me, it depends. It's hard to say. Game Likely might do really well because they hit #1, but the other ones that hit #1. So you got to make sure your crew, you can find people that are affordable. They want to be, and you just want people just want to be a part of what you're doing. Everybody wants to be a part of these movies. I mean, it's like, my inboxes right now are read because they think they don't know it's me now.
Shout out to him for answering us, y'all, because we had to slide in.
Right. Yeah. Game Likely came out August 5th, and so it's been about a month, right?
Yeah.
We had a cuss on here.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've probably turned down more pussy in the last month than I have any guy's ever gotten in his life. I swear to God, I'm not even bullshitting.
Sorry, you too.
No, not. Yeah. I'm so glad because that's a great transition because I need this on film.
Okay.
So, October 16th.
There you go. We got on film.
Okay. We are actually doing an entrepreneur dating game.
Okay.
Just like 70s old school. Yeah. Behind the curtain, you only pick me off my answers.
Okay.
Is you playing or not?
Because we know you say that sounds fun.
It is so much fun. We've done it before. Yes. Okay. We did it for Valentine's Day. And this is going to be so much bigger and better. We have Maria Cribs hosting.
Yeah. We got some y'all here. Josh been married for 30 years.
Right. Oh yeah. It's going to be bomb.
And all of our entrepreneurs. One thing that we love about you, Johnny, is that HWIC Filmworks is very intentional, like you said, about reaching out back into the community and pouring into the community that you expect to support you.
Yes.
So one thing about our community in general is it's just filled with entrepreneurs. We know how hard it is sometimes to just collaborate because everybody thinks that the ego gets in the way.
That's it.
And with our people, we got some solid people, including
solid.
you.
That's dope.
So it's a great way to continue.
You alumni.
You alumni.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I love
you got your hood pack.
Well, it was funny because when you guys were texting me like entrepreneur, I'm like I'm there because I was like because you do get a lot of these offers. You know what I'm saying? I only have so much time, but it's like I like what you guys are doing, talking about entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of it's not. It's like I noticed this too. Even like you see like a lot of these rappers get a name or singers or something. It's like they never want to do anything local. It's like, well, who's really supporting you? You're not bigger than you're not bigger than you think than the city. I mean, you are in a way, but not. You know what I mean? Like to us, because like who watches our? I think our movie got pushed to the top through Cleveland, and then everybody found it because the people go on to we find it the most popular. And so for me, it's like I'm always. I mean, that's really look. I'm gonna be Cleveland centric. Yeah, that's important to me. But I think you guys being entrepreneurs appreciate that more than the average person because then to them it's like, why do you pick him? I could have played catch.
It was the fact. The reason I kept watching. First of all, it's actually really good. Not to say surprisingly, but sometimes be hit or miss on some of these streaming platforms.
Right.
This particular one felt like Cleveland from the intro at Gus's to like I said, walking the date at Lakewood Park. It was so much there that I was like, oh, I know this part. I grew up here, so being a Cleveland, a real Clevelander, it felt good to see us showcased in such a positive light.
That's dope, yeah. And I love that. I kept hearing, before this one, which I don't know why, because we had high school in Swing Low, but they kept saying, well, Detroit's running the movie game, Detroit.
So they got that Big Papa
they got
the whole
they got Murder Bang all over. Which I get, and I'm happy for him. That's good, you know what I mean? But I feel like our movies from a technical standpoint are better. Story-wise, I mean, they're starting to become better. So like, I mean, I think we're on their ass. I'll say that at least. At worst, you know what I'm saying?
So who does the writing?
So so Swing Low was a book that Dave wrote into a script. Okay.
I never knew that.
Yeah, it was a book. The writer, she I met her. She stayed on 105. I think she went to Heights. Her name's Stella. Cleveland. Stella Hall's her name. So she wrote the book. Been out for years. But Dave turned to do a script. Then Heights Girl, me and him wrote. I wrote most of that in Heights Girl too. And then this last one we got Jillian Holt. She's a writer from here. She went to Bedford and she's been writing for years. She actually teaches at Tri-C, I think, writing. So we got her to do this one, and man, what a difference having a real writer write some shit, man. Wow, that made a huge difference. So she wrote the new one too, and so I got her pumping scripts out. I got the team. It's a system. We got our team putting it together, and then breaking the script down and put the production. We got. I mean, it took a lot of years to get that system perfected, like it does any business, right? I'm sure with the wines, whatever. It's like you got to refine that system. That's just so important. I think operations is more important than people realize, man. Because right?
Don't look at me like that.
Because we're all caught up in the marketing and advertising. We're like we're entrepreneurs, and it's like, but then can we really deliver on our promises? That's really what brand is, delivering on your promises.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
It's not a question because we're in the age where anyone who has a camera phone, they feel like they're a filmmaker, right? what do you feel like
including Brandon?
Listen. Yeah. Hey, I'm trying.
I'm just kidding. I'm
talking to Johnny afterwards. Hey, teach me. You know what I'm saying? But what do you feel what criteria makes a person a filmmaker? Makes someone a content creator versus being a filmmaker, because it's two different
things. It's a difference.
Ooh, yeah. And don't forget, this is really 2022 question.
Right.
Yeah. This is really a 2022 question. I think, like you were saying earlier, the film's the art, right? We can sit here all day, put a camera, you know what I mean?
Right.
But when Dave and some big movies we were kids, I mean, he's got the camera. Like, I don't know if you know the drone shots in Scam.
Yeah,
I don't know why other filmmakers don't use the drone to they'll use it as an opening shot to the movie. You know what I'm saying? But we used it within the context of the movie and the film.
Yeah.
And a lot of people I don't think to use it. So it's but then again too, it's more than just the camera. I mean, I'll tell you the most important thing in independent film, and I don't know if you know this as a film guy, sound. If your sound's fucked up, the movie's screwed. You know what I mean? Yeah. And because it's I watched this movie one time on Tubi. I mean, we're on Tubi. I don't want to talk about Tubi. I remember we were in the guy slams the door and you don't hear the door shut. Shit like that. That ruins the movie for me. You know what I mean?
That's why we turn off the slushy music.
Yeah,
right. We noticed it. We recorded one time. We were like, oh,
absolutely.
You can hear.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So that's so important. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the difference. But now I will say this: as a film company, I realize me and Dave as the partners, it's so important to have your artist and your business. I mean, I'm a little bit of both, but you know what I mean? You got to have the business aspect and entertainment. People don't do that. It's usually they're singer or rapper. They don't have the team behind them. You know what I mean? Or the actual business acumen or savvy to make it turn into. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even the people even some of the casting, even some of the younger. I knew the younger crowd and the popular girl. The younger crowd be there in the middle of the 30s. Yeah. You got to think all that through.
Yeah.
The casting beforehand that people aren't really thinking through. But that's taken years to figure out, man. I'm a student of business too, so I love, business and marketing are my thing. So, I love it. So, I feel like I can make any business pop. I just choose to do what I do.
So, if you're comfortable, I would love to talk about some of the industry differences that you've been able to observe across the years. Okay. I guess it's a two-parter, because I also want to know some of the good parts that you like, but also some of the very honest parts that you kind of dislike about the changes in the industry.
Okay, so things I like about the industry?
Yeah.
I would say the things I like about entertainment is being able to see people so happy when they see your movie. It brings so much joy. Or when you tell me stories me and my girl were laying there, we had popcorn, and stuff like that. Because that was your goal when you were a kid. People enjoying it. We used to playing for my aunt and uncle. That was it. That's all we had. You know what I mean? And my mom. It was
big wheel.
That big wheel. That was our audience. So now it's cool to have that and see people joyful. That's fun. Helping people live their dreams. The actors. That's a big one. We're one of the only games in town, so I get to see them do that, live that out. The creative aspect of it's fun. I think it's fun. So I would say that the downside is it's entertainment, and it's mass volume. So you bring all these people, like I said, in my inbox, put me in a movie, and don't understand really, and then get mad at you because you use popular people. They don't really understand business. So see, entertainment. I always laugh about this. I don't know if you guys realize this. Here's business and here's art. You know what I'm saying, right? And so it's two different sides. Yeah. So everybody wants to be in this art business, which is film and music and everything, but they don't understand a lick of business. And it's one of the hardest ones to make pop because not to get the whole spending marketing dollars and acquiring customers and how it's Tubi only pays I think 15 cents an hour streamed and trying to make that happen with marketing dollars, and it's hard, and the music's even worse. So there's a sense of entitlement. You get so much entitlement,
and it's frustrating.
Frustrates me to death.
Yeah, because nowadays they want you to have a following to even be an entertainer, to work at certain places. They want to see your social media to see how many people you have following you. It's about a business. Okay, well we can work with you because you have 5K, you have 100K following you, so we can work with you. We can
and
hire
do almost like a joint venture in a way. Is what it is. Yeah.
I do agree with that.
And they'll hate Cleveland really supports me, like I said, almost behind my back, but they still support me. But
y'all support it first.
Right. This one guy put a post up one time because I didn't give him a role or something. He said, "Man, fuck him, culture vulture," and everybody jumped on him like, "Shut the fuck," you know what I mean?
Right.
So that was good. So they support, shut up. Nobody else is doing this. He can make any kind of movies he wants. So they were supporting it. So that's that's good. So at least they, on that level. Right. But you're always gonna get the haters that, you didn't do that, man. They get mad about that. But whatever, you're gonna have that.
Yeah.
You're gonna have that.
Period.
Yeah.
We got ours.
I think you're right about that. Even institutions, like everybody's big dream is to go to school, right?
Yeah.
And schools even differentiate: is this a bachelor of art or is it a bachelor of science? You know what I mean? And you got to understand the art and the science behind even business. It's an art and it's a science to it.
That is true.
And it's like, okay, this is the pretty part. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about the purpose.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the profit. What make the most sense?
Exactly.
You're right, because these guys, they do movies and they don't make a profit on their movie, right? And I'm like, well, you don't really have a business, you have a hobby at the end of the day, right? Like, you have to turn some kind of profit on it, you know what I mean, on this movie, even if it's some profit, right? Just to say, okay, this is a real business.
Right.
I mean, I think I'm really, at this point, the only one's been able to do that. And it's hard. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm not hating on them at all, because it's early on, it was real hard, right? Because we've even found the right distributors now, and you know what I mean? And there's so much that goes into this, and your niching out is a big thing, right? Find out who are you for, and then worry about them, and they're not everybody else. You know what I mean? Because people like, well, why don't you do romantic comedy? It's like, too late now.
Target, yes.
I don't think there's a romantic comedy.
No, it's really not.
We want the EC rep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my East Cleveland fan base is gonna love that one. You know what I mean? So it's like, so you gotta know where you stand and stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Yeah. So that's just something you learn as time goes on. Which is funny because a lot of guys will make movies and they'll be making like a horror movie, then they'll want to make a comedy, and then they'll wonder why nobody's watching their movies. It's like, because you got to build that brand over time. Yeah. It'd be like you making wines and go, I'm gonna start giving you guys some beers. Or something like that. You know what I mean? It might work, but I'm saying like you really want wine's really what you want. If you're a fan base, you want wine. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I agree. Frequency does not equal consistency.
Yeah.
Now, how often you do something and how consistent you do something are not the same. If you do want something consistent, though, 14% alcohol is available at 2U Wines. That's 4425 Mayfield, Ohio. 44121. Pull up. It's always about.
Yeah, that's feeling right I'm gonna be honest.
Also, though, while we are at it, because we always talk about people behind their backs, and Johnny is one of the people who gets talked about behind his back the most. The reason that I do know Johnny exists, I definitely want to make sure I give this young man his flowers. He's actually worked on a couple movies with you before. His name is Sterling. We know him at Positive Energy Lifestyle.
Yeah,
he was one of our
gang.
past guests, and he made it his business to tell us to make sure we continue to support you because you have been so active in the community, so great with working with entrepreneurs. And I love him so much. So thank you, Sterling, for even putting this together. But also thank you, Johnny, for doing the work. Now, HWIC Filmworks. Like he said, we can stream them on YouTube and on Tubi. But we got some older stuff too. But there's so much coming out. So let's talk about some of the projects that you've worked on. I know we touched on Scam Likely. But what are some different things that you love about Scam Likely? Some stuff that if they haven't watched it yet, I ain't gonna spoil it.
I haven't seen it.
I'm not gonna spoil it.
I'm going to
go home and watch it. It was so great.
So not hip. Y'all see me over here quiet like
I'm about to go home and watch Heights Girl. That's how good it was.
That sounds like
y'all made Heights Girl. That's crazy.
Yeah.
People are finding old movies from the new one, and that's kind of cool, man. And that's really what it's back to the brand thing, right? And that's what I mean about our movies being the same. If you watch Game Likely, you're not gonna be disappointed with Heights Girl Swing Love, right? But if we had done, like I said, some kind of romantic or something totally different, people might be. You know what I mean? So I'm glad we stuck in the same lane the whole time and stuff. So you said you want to know all the movies there, or all the,
what's coming up? What should we go back and watch?
I definitely go back. So Swing Low, Sweet Chariot.
Okay.
Wine and Gossip that we used the Lena wines at the time. If we do Wine and Gossip 2, it will be shot here. If we decide to go that route. Heights Girl 1, Heights Girl 2, which was 2019.
It was 2 of them?
Yeah, it was 2 of them. Yeah, we did the second one in 2019. It came out. Yeah.
Okay.
I got these on Tubi.
They're on Tubi. Yeah. I went and grabbed a bunch of for that one people in the city that were, you know what I mean, like just promoters and stuff. They had little roles and stuff that were in it for the second one. And then Scam Likely, which shot 21, came out this year. And then we're working on a movie called Locked In.
I've heard of Scam Likely.
Okay, I was gonna say it's been pretty. I've heard it. We really it was getting shared it went crazy. And the new one's called Locked In. It's 4 girls are locked in a basement. They're drugged. They can't figure out what's going on. And come to find out they're all messing with the same dude. And he drugged them up. and he did some kind of robbery thing, but it's like I can't tell too much, but that's kind of like the basis of the story. It's pretty. It's a cool.
Michael Jackson ain't our only thriller no more, y'all. It's coming to Cleveland.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
That sounds like a good one.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. So So I mean, like that'll be the next one, and then we're moving to just keep going. We're just gonna keep going. Like there's scripts on scripts on scripts, so we just keep moving along. The team still needs tweaks. So I want to, before I do a series, I want to make sure I have the best teams. I do want to do a series at some point, and I wouldn't mind bringing them some Detroit
that would be
people.
So dope.
You know what I mean?
I'd
like to bring Murder Painting actually because his audience is the same as ours. So I like to get. I mean, it is two people love him on Tubi. So
collaboration.
The Denzel
Tubi. Yeah, they do. They come to Denzel Tubi. Yeah. And from some other cities too, bring some people in. I think would be helpful because then we get more exposure in those cities and brings Cleveland. But Cleveland is still gonna be mostly Cleveland. Yeah.
Stay there.
But that's the thing right there, like building that to get more exposure so everybody can get out there.
That's it. Right.
That's what it's about right there.
And that's why the hating makes me laugh because really ultimately it's helping all of Cleveland, right?
Exactly.
Just getting more exposure. And you don't know if you're going to be in another, in a movie or if you're going to, so it just keeps growing like exponentially over time. You know what I'm saying? That's why you can't, because that's why consistency is more important.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's your, I saw this quote, you guys do your little thing. So every winner and every loser has the same goals. It's not your goals, it's the actions that you take, they're more important than the goal itself, right? Because a lot of people get the goal and they quit. Yeah. I mean, you got to keep going. It's consistent. You got to, I could have been like, swing low, we're done. We made it all right, but that wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to, build an empire, of making movies. Yeah. Like a Tyler, I don't like Tyler Perry movies, but I respect the hell out of Tyler Perry. Let me tell you, man, he is a genius on so many levels. And Hollywood, let's be honest, let's just be totally honest. Hollywood does sort of, not 100%, but they don't really cater to black actors or stories. Yeah. You notice that? They just don't. There's a few, but not they don't enough. Really, you know what I mean? Not enough. And so, and it's okay. It's just that we need like the independent people to tell these stories, you know what I'm saying? And especially in cities like this where they're not told, like Cleveland and, you know what I mean? Cities that have enough people here that would watch it and enjoy it. So, yeah, it feels good to be doing it, man. I love what I do, so I'm happy, you know what I mean? And to start seeing this kind of success, you're like, wow. Who'd have thought when we had the Big Wheel out that we'd have the number one movie on Tubi, you know what I mean? Like, who would have thought, for 3 days, we were 3 days, we were number one on Tubi above the 50 Shades of Grey movies. All three, I swear to God, for 3 days. Yeah.
See?
Impressive.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we look back at the episode. We'll be like, dang, remember when Johnny's on? And now you got the big office downtown. He on High School number 6 now.
I'm trying to figure out if I can still be an extra at the restaurant.
Did you forget about it?
Yeah. Hey, sir, Brandon's here. What the fuck's that?
Okay, so.
I'm planning to do the same thing. That's what happened when your dreams are
Yeah.
Y'all funny.
He got that real estate background.
Right. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's dope though. That's dope. I think I've always felt like film is just so creative. It's just, you have to put that together and keep people engaged.
And that's way harder than people think,
man. Listen.
Oh, my favorite was one of the haters. A girl sent it to me, and he put this post up. He goes, "This movie ain't." It was the poster, and he put, "This movie ain't it," which was free promo for us anyway. But this movie ain't it. All I need is give me a videographer. I'm goated, is what it said, right? But it made me laugh because I'm thinking, all you need is a videographer. Because you need a good script, you need a good audio, you need a good, you know what I'm saying? Right. So everybody thinks it's really easy, but telling these stories in the way you saw those montages we did. I mean, it was like cut. We had to. Buddy Vaughn, the main girl, had to come back for a whole day. We'd already shot the montage with the other director, Sean Adams. But Dave came in because he wanted to do it better. He spent a whole day just no audio, just her. I don't know if you remember when it cuts in and she wakes up 3 different. Remember?
Yeah.
Like we had to go back and shoot that and shoot. You know what I mean? Like.
And I'm a person. If I watch it the second time, I want to see all the stuff that you messed up on. Yeah. It was this one time. I'm not gonna give too much away, but in the thing, she checks her phone like you said, she wakes up, she check her phone, and there's another scene where she checks it again. the time matchup, the drop matchup, the call time match. I want to know how many minutes he was on the phone. I'm one of those weirdos because I seen it the first time. I know what the point was. Now I'm trying to figure out where they messed up. And the fact that it was so hard to catch a mistake, I think I could appreciate. So shout out to you, Dave.
Yeah, that was dope.
Dave,
because editing's hard. Editing's hard. Editing's underrated.
That's when the phone dropped and they caught the phone, I was like, shit, pause it.
Yeah,
and it was good. I was like, oh, they did call the right person.
Yeah.
Sometimes they be answering and it still be on the lock screen. No, she answered. It's an actual person on the phone.
Yeah. They were going. One thing they went in on was her wigs. They were going in on her hair and her weaves.
The first part, okay, but she wasn't making money yet.
I was just gonna say, right? That's it, right?
Making money yet. Man. When she started getting money, sis was together. So shout out to you, buddy.
Yeah, right.
Hating.
And there was there's a video on TikTok, 700,000 views. Some chick hating on how at the one part towards the end, the basement scene, how when she left her hair, because we had to shoot it a different day, and they're talking about her hair. 700,000, but I'm like, that's free promo. Whatever.
It really is.
So let's talk about that, Johnny, man. Because I love how you said even the negative stuff is free promo for you. So you don't mind looking at the negative comments. I know some entrepreneurs who don't look at them. They're like, no, I'm not looking at them or whatnot.
Yeah, used to. And then as time went on, it was like maybe I'll learn something, right? Or also, I feel like. Sometimes they're funny. I'm not gonna lie. They're funny as hell. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm sorry, but buddy, it was funny. I love her, but man, that was funny. But also too, like, I feel like you think about like Housewives of Atlanta, right? Some people hated Nene and would watch it just because they hated Nene, right? So I feel like sometimes,
it's so true,
right? Because like if somebody, okay, let me ask you. So if somebody kept saying, "Oh, this movie's good," but then somebody's like, you could feel somebody hating, and they're like, "Oh man, bitch wasn't," whatever. You're gonna be like, now I definitely gotta watch it. Your own opinion. So I feel like in a lot of ways, the negative comment, they're just gonna happen, man. I mean, there was a post on the Remembrance page about the movie, right? And it got a ton of likes, a ton of positive comments, and some girl goes on there and she's talking about this. She goes, no shade, but this movie was horrible. I'm like,
the shadiest thing you can say.
The shadiest thing you can say. This movie was horrible, and you need to tell them because they need to do better, and blah blah blah. And
she really said that?
Oh yeah,
it was good.
And it had like 34 likes, and I'm not kidding you. Every single one was a girl, female, not one dude. And so I was like, see, there's something deeper there that they probably didn't like or whatever. And so you have that, but I don't know. To me, like I'm realizing how important it. Like at first it was like, oh no, I want to. And then after a while you're like, oh, because that. Think about it. If people don't like stuff that's not popular, they just ignore it. If something's popular enough, they're gonna say something because they're hating on it.
And you watched it.
And you watched, and you gave us a view. So
and you might be getting us 10 more views.
Yeah,
just because you watched it.
Right. You helped us get more views because now people are like, well, now I want to see.
Let me go see for myself.
I want to see for myself. Is this movie really what is she? It's just weird shit. Like the worst one to me, and this was worse than any of them, was somebody said, I watched Tubi movies, and this was bad even for a Tubi movie. I'm thinking, are we watching the same Tubi? You know what I mean?
And
like,
not only that,
it's funny.
You stay on Tubi, it sounds like to me. You stay on.
That's what I'm saying. And then have you watched PPP Lone Gone? I mean, come on.
That was I'm sorry.
I know. You can edit that out if you want.
We had some amazing Cleveland.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Stop.
that's a movie.
Yeah, it's called Gone Wrong, and it's Scam Likely.
Yeah, right.
Support
your city.
Sweet Chariot, Ice Girl 1 or 2.
Yeah, right.
Anywhere to start.
Yes.
First.
Right.
We even got to pull Big Will, Dead Big, what is it?
Oh, Death Big Will.
Death Big Will.
Death Big Will's probably better than some of those things.
With the cardboard rim, with the wooden rim.
That movie was so long ago. I was wearing Hoochie Daddy shorts before he did everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I was all like 10 or 11 or something wearing Hoochie Daddy shorts.
Hoochie Daddy is vintage.
Yeah, right. Vintage Hoochie Daddy shorts. Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah. I was on trend before it was a trend. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah. but you get my point. But that comment was like, man, now you come on. But then I kept thinking, like, if somebody sees that, they're gonna want to watch it because they're gonna be like, why would you even say that? You know what I mean? And so yeah. So I don't care. But it took a while.
Gotta love the haters.
Gotta love them, man. Yeah.
So I like that because constructive criticism, period. I think a lot of people live for their applause, so they'll die from the criticism. And being able to accept, first of all, constructive criticism and actually be able to do something about it. Yes. You know what I mean? It's different, because we can hear it all day, but even if we don't take the the notion is like, okay, I'm gonna get better. Don't worry about it, because you know, when locked up, get in here, then y'all really gonna see something.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you're able to first accept it and listen to it, because a lot of people are like I say, ego, it gets in the way, especially in the entertainment industry.
Knock them down.
A lot of people feel like I can't do it. I'm on Tubi. Where you streaming at? Okay, you know what I mean? So it kind of hurts the brand and it kind of devalues you. But the fact that you are able to accept it, even the fact that you're open to say, okay, let me laugh at whatever you're talking about. Like, it's funny to me.
Yeah.
It's huge, because in entrepreneurship, a lot of us, like I said, we'll let criticism kill us. And we'll almost sleep on a dream from somebody who doesn't even have enough to follow their own dreams. You know what I mean?
That's a good
somebody
point.
who get up and clock in
That's
for somebody else.
Point.
They'll talk you out of your business.
That's a good point.
And I love that you have that in you.
That's a great point.
So how did you find that? And how is it?
Yeah.
How is it navigating an industry full of people from a different nationality? Because a lot of people hate on you just because we don't have the same skin tone.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And they'll miss out on the opportunity to get to know you because you're actually a dope dude.
Right.
So, but how is it navigating that space? Because sometimes it can be such a touchy space, especially as the world evolves. So much stuff is caught on social media. Different things we learn about growth, evolution, change.
Yeah.
How is that?
Well, the first part of that is you're right. You're a lot of egomaniacs. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem with entertainment, because think about in order to want to be seen all the time, you kind of have to be a certain, you know what I'm saying, type person. I'm not saying they're bad, it's just that it's a big ego. So I think about, like, when I think of musicians, you gotta think about like groups and stuff like that, and how many of them, they always end up breaking up, right? You know what I'm saying?
It's always
oh my
ego.
God, it's always
every
ego.
single time.
And I think
Nothing
because,
else
I think because it's that type of, it brings that sort of, I don't know, person to that, you know, so it's like they, you know, then when they're at their peak, it's fine, but then everything starts coming down.
Like
so,
that diva syndrome always fall back.
Man, don't it though?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's, you know, it's an issue. I'm not gonna say like it's tough sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. And I mean, there's specific stories I won't go into. You know what I mean? But people that don't work with us anymore because they did, you know what I mean? And we're a certain way and stuff. And I mean, it's all love with B, but it's at the end of the day, it's like, you know what I mean? You gotta keep your ego in check. That's a big thing with me, like when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, and just being through a lot in my life, I think it's just like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, it's like I'm doing what I love, and you can hate all you want, but I'm still doing what I love, and we're still doing it successfully, right? As far as the nationality thing, like I have a hard time seeing myself doing anything else. You know what I mean? It's like, but Cleveland always. So a lot of people don't know this. I grew up in Youngstown. Okay, a lot of people didn't know that, but I moved here January 2000, so I was pretty young.
You're from Youngstown. You're from the real hood.
Yeah, right. But then, I mean, but you know, this is the first year I've been here longer than I was in Youngstown, so I'm like Clevelandized now. So when I first moved here, it was corny. I don't know if I can explain it. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you were.
I was. I admit it. You know, and I got my first job at Richmond Mall, and I was going to Cleveland State, and I don't know, man. Like I always sort of related to. You know, I'm trying how to put this, because like, I get along with everybody. Like, I'm a Pisces, man. I get along with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I have that like in me. You know what I'm saying? And but like I moved here, and I just felt like I was going through a tough time in my life, and I got along with the black people better than I did anybody else when I first moved here, and so that always just stuck with me. You know what I mean? And you remember? You guys remember Ralph Poole from the radio station?
Yeah.
His son was my best friend. He passed away in 2018, but he became my best friend for those 18 years, and so like. I just always like, I don't know, man. Just like I said, I could do other types of films, but I think I'm just at where I need to be at, and everybody seems to accept it. Like they don't nobody really. I mean, you get your few haters, right? But most people just be like, oh, that's just him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're cool like that. So I'm just me, I guess. You know. No, so you know. I don't know, man. Just like, you know,
one thing about us, when you cool people, you cool people.
I think I want to.
All you need is one invitation.
I want to see the change of not being so much black and white or Hispanic, but real versus fake. You know what I mean?
And that's what it is.
That's really when you're real, you're real. And that was the thing about Cleveland. I was right away. Everybody was so much realer, you know, to me. Like I felt they were real, and I fit right in right away. So that's just, you know what I'm saying? And you know, and now I look like Jack Harlow's dad, and I got Cartiers on, and it all works out. You know what I'm saying?
Branded Cartiers now.
I'm
gonna hate to let y'all know. On your right lens, it say HWIC.
And I'm gonna make this last point was when I was in high school. This is in Youngstown where it wasn't as up here. People get along. People might not think it, but racially everybody gets along up here better than they do in a lot of other places.
Really?
Are you serious?
And I travel a lot. Oh yeah, like go to Youngstown, Canton, Akron. I mean, maybe not like Atlanta or whatever, but I don't know. But like, I always had a tendency to not. I didn't really like the white chicks. I was like the black or Hispanic girls and like that. And,
snap.
And then back then,
big
got
it.
Yeah, right. And then back and then back October 16th. And I remember. You have a line out the door. You know, the way things are going. But like, it wasn't like really in Youngstown. Like they didn't like late '90s and stuff. You know what I mean? And then I remember I moved here and I got the job and it was like all the black girls like it was like instant. Like when you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is way more cool and it's like more home to me because they, you know, it's a different vibe. You know what I'm saying? So it really was.
Thank you for saying that. Sometimes those who ain't homegrown be low key hating.
Well,
I appreciate that.
Can I ask a question? Why do Clevelanders think Cleveland's so bad? I mean, I get why, like, some things, right? Okay. But, like, go to other places, and it's not that bad. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really isn't. Like,
Cleveland is amazing, and one thing that we all can collectively agree on as homegrown Clevelanders is there's not enough of the bright side being showcased.
That's it.
Which is why we founded the PullUp Experience, and we grow together, we collaborate, we support another, and we're all about elevation for entrepreneurs and all that great stuff. So one thing I can say, y'all, we laugh, we joke, we'll talk about the potholes all day. But when it potholes and potheads, depending on But one thing I can say is it's love here and it's so much greatness. No matter what
I agree with that.
It's interracial, it's suburbanal, you know what I'm saying? However you go. If you from Cleveland and you got that area code, like my birthday, 216, for sure, you solid people with us, and we love you like you've been here forever. Mm-hmm.
And they're real. And people here, I think, are real sometimes more than other places. I mean, you know what I mean? Because, you know, you travel a lot and you see a lot of... all I'm saying is people are like, oh, Cleveland. I'm like, have you been to, like...
Exactly. It's more Cleveland than
LeBron. I mean, if you've been to, like...
Weird. I'm sorry.
It's very weird.
I'm sorry.
You know, and I don't know...
being honest.
That's all I feel. And I don't know who watches this from wherever, but, like...
all of y'all are Springfield.
Springfield, Toledo.
Very different.
Man,
it's very different.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. I did a short stint in film. Like I didn't go to film school, but for a semester, right? Mm-hmm. And I went to Pittsburgh, and you want to talk about weird? Like it was nothing like Cleveland. It was nothing.
Wait, that's where David is from.
Yeah, but I know, but he don't like whatever. He
know how to get
Yeah. He gets a pass. He gets a Cleveland pass, but. Yeah, like it's a different energy, and not all bad, but like you know what I mean. Like we just like we're more different. And like another thing here, people talk more. Like if you're out somewhere, people like randomly will talk to you. Like I mean, I feel real welcomed right away, where you didn't feel that. Like so, I went down. My mom still lives in Youngstown, so I went to visit. There's a fair called the Canfield Fair. So I took my goddaughter right to see her, and like. I just start walking around the people and I'm like, oh, no wonder. Like, I don't feel like I'm from, you know what I mean? Because you start to change when you get around a certain group of people or you know what I'm saying? You just become part of that, you know, whatever it is, Cleveland, East Suburb, or whatever you want to call it, that's what I am. So that's what happens, I think. You know what I mean? And so
he's solid, y'all. I'm going to give him, you know what I'm saying?
He definitely has.
I'm going to give him his love. Yeah, man.
I appreciate
it. He's in.
He's for sure alumni. You know?
No,
I'll let you know.
We had a small conversation about you before you came in, and we were like, he's the second white person on our show.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I got to know who the first is.
He's only the second white person. Yeah. And we love both of you. We do.
So we made the show multicultural.
Beth Azor is number one.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Beth.
Shout out to Beth.
Shout out to Beth.
So she rents out Tower City. If you ever guys need to do some views.
Oh, see, that's huge.
Yeah.
She leases Tower City. She comes up from Florida once a month for like a week. She's great for if you guys need storefront, if you guys have any events, you definitely want to do anything regarding entrepreneurship, growth, and change around downtown, rebuilding Tower City to what it used to be. Definitely reach out to Beth. Before you do, though, go back and give us the watch hours, because y'all know streaming. He just told y'all don't pay like that. So
and this
go back.
Here, talk about some invite to the picnic or whatnot.
I didn't invite him to the picnic.
Wait a minute.
It's a little beyond that.
Yeah. So Johnny actually know what a cookout. Johnny actually has been to one before. So the first time we invited somebody, I told her she had her invitation to the cookout. She literally asked me when it was.
So she asked me what day? The day?
She thought we had like secret HNIC meetings.
Yeah, right. You were invited exactly.
So we had a very sociable.
She's so cool. She is amazing.
We did our 50.
We love you, Beth.
Oh, that's funny.
Shout out to Beth.
I couldn't even hold it.
You couldn't keep it in.
Man, it was
that's
like,
hilarious.
For real.
Yeah.
She's like, what do I bring?
Yeah,
I was like, okay.
Like she thought she was coming to the Kill Whitey meeting or
Seriously,
something. I love it. Yeah, that's dope.
I was like, okay. Exactly. That was my reaction too.
Yeah, right. That's funny. I love it though. I love it.
But we had a great teachable moment and showing how easy it is to stay in tune with people who are purposeful about their passion.
That's right.
And that is what matters the most.
Absolutely.
Regardless of whatever shade or hue they are. Yeah. If they real, they real. And one thing I love about you is you are authentic.
And that's the biggest compliment.
Very much so.
I don't feel like you are, and excuse me for saying this because sometimes it can be misconstrued, but a lot of people like to come into our neighborhoods and utilize our resources and don't ever give back, or it feels almost like a culture vulture is like the term we give it or whatever. Right. But what I don't feel is that from you.
That's important, you know what I mean? Because it is about I love everybody working together, because one thing you got to remember this too, and this is an important point that it was Run Entrepreneurship Show, is that the other thing we got to, and this is my opinion, I know a lot of people don't feel this, I know, and I totally agree with buying black and all, you know what I'm saying, but really there's a lot of money out there, right? There's an abundance of money out there. And you need to figure out how to get money from all. You know what I'm saying? Because I have no problem spending my white dollars in here. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem spending my white dollars. That I think people need to start thinking outside of you know what I mean? Like getting caught up. You know what I mean? Like one thing I'll say, people be like, in the hood, they're like, oh, the certain Indians or people own these stores, but I don't really think anybody should own a store. You know what I mean? You can, but there's bigger money on the internet, and there's big money, you know what I'm saying? You can do that, but I'm saying there's so much money, Amazon sellers and all these different things, but the key is sticking with something and getting good at it and going, you know what I mean? And people, you know what I mean? Don't limit yourself that I'm only going to do this and that. It's you know what I'm saying? You gotta figure it out. And that's why I'm employing all these, you know what I'm saying? Young, a lot of them are crew members, people always want to be in film, young black, males, females that want to be part of the, you know what I'm saying? The team is teaching them how to do it. I want them to do it on their own. That's ultimately the goal, but it's really hard. That's why it's you can't just, you start producing movies, because it's a hard business, you know what I'm saying? But I'm willing to help them, teach them, and do their own thing, you know what I'm saying? Because we have enough talent, we have enough opportunities, not enough platforms, right? We need more platforms to get, you know what I'm saying, these more people, because it's like supply and demand. There's just too much, you know what I'm saying, demand and not enough supply. So it's at least with film.
So this is why I never thought that filming was easy. You just go out and do that. When you watch the credits and everything at the end, it's like wardrobe. Go get the coffee.
You
know what I'm saying? There's so many positions that you have no idea. And these people make mega money doing these jobs that you never think of in film. Going to take care of this and taking care of that and making these calls and doing that and wardrobe, like I said, and the shoe guy and and I was I looked at it I never thought how do you even break out into something like
That's what I mean. You got to be on. You got to you almost have to study under what we're doing. You know what I mean? Because there's like you said, there's so many people, and to learn how to do that. I mean, it's a lot, man. I mean, you got your slate person, you got all these people, and it's really you got to be good at that, organizing, managing this whole group of people on top of the actors who have the egos and they don't want to show up on time and they don't want to be, because they think, you know what I'm saying? So it's it's so much work that's why I said I'm trying to figure out how to get more people to do it, but it's tough, man. I'm it's something I have to think about, creating a school or doing something. You know what I
mean? Or even partnering school. We have so many different creative schools CSA, or Broadcasting School. And a lot of them are looking for internships and different things like that. So being able to work with something local and actually have their foot in the door and an opportunity to actually be there. Because the textbook is one thing, being in business. Textbook is one thing, and then industry is totally different. They teach you how to keep the businesses going. They don't tell you how to start it or how to get off the ground or anything.
You're right. You're right. And you're doing it, it's like anything else, right? Business, doing it is nothing better than learning on the job, man. There's nothing better. You know what I'm saying?
You get the basics almost, but when you get out and do it, it's a lot of times it's not even that.
I'm not even at this point yet. I know the book, but this ain't. I'm not at book part yet. I need the base. I need the beginner. I need the basics.
I mean, I'll be I'm transparent, right? I still have, so I laid a lot of my money early, after we started making the film, doing marketing freelance work, so I do a lot of paid media, run Facebook ads, Instagram ads, direct response type stuff. I still have a few clients because, I mean, we really just started making money on the movie not that long ago. I mean, at least to the point where we, it was halfway decent. So it's like, who wants to go through that either? You know what I'm saying? All those years of like trying to figure this out, and streaming just became a thing big in 2016, 17. Now, because Amazon Prime was where we started, and they were actually Amazon Prime was paying real good. And then this is what's scary too. These
like Prime Video,
Amazon Prime Video. You know, I'm talking about like the streaming. These platforms, this is why it's important to build email lists and stuff, right? Because any of these platforms can shut you down at any second. You know what
Don't look at me like that.
I'm just saying, it'll shut you down. And like, Amazon Prime was paying us 15 cents an hour stream. We were doing really good. They dropped it to like 2 cents in one day, and everything went, you know what I'm saying? So like, you want to, and then other things, I lost my Instagram. I had like 12,000 followers. I lost it 2000, I forget what year it was, right? And it's like,
I'm so sick of those.
And because they own it. They own it, man. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so you want to build something you own, which is like an email list or something you have, you know what I mean, where you can market to them, you know what I'm saying, and do it on your own without having to depend on a Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever, you know what I mean?
That's good.
So yeah, that's an important tip because
Bam, 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 bam.
Exactly. Before we move forward, get you a CRM. Get you an autoresponder. Start taking down these people's names, phone numbers, email address, so you can hit them up on your own terms. That way, even if you don't get it snatched, but it's a glitch, you can go back. Take their birthdays, send them birthday messages. Take whatever that it is they most popularly hit you up for. Start hitting them up before they get a chance to reach out to you. I know I have said this before, but I'm going to say it again just for creative purposes, because sometimes you hear it better when it comes from somebody else's mouth.
I'm your worst student.
No, I think my absolute worst student.
No, I am.
I don't know, y'all. I don't care. What I can say, they both great business people. But CRM, I've stressed this enough this week alone. And I'm so glad that you said that.
I came right on time.
I good nerve with that one.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we hit on a lot of stuff.
But also let's say this too. Before that, when you build the list, but also build a relationship with the list. Because if you build the list, then never email the list. Like you have to build, and it doesn't always have to be an offer, right? Like this is 20% off. Like hey, like here, here's a tip. Here's how to make the something wine, but you know what I mean. And give them a tip or something. Build that relationship with them. You know what I mean? Yeah. In the meantime, but go ahead.
You guys can follow him at Johnny Filmmaker for sure on IG.
That's right.
Johnny dropped the jewels for
and they'll be in the description box below. I ain't gonna say that. Okay, so which brings us, because you've been dropping gems.
Yes, you definitely did. You definitely did. Great episode.
What are 3 things you would want somebody who's watching this to get from your interview?
The first one would be the comment about, every winner and every loser having the same goal. I think because everyone wants to be a millionaire, right? Everyone wants to be a millionaire, but it's really the actions that separate you, not your goal. You know what I mean? It's really every day your actions, your habits, and the things you do, and you have to stay and keep consistent on those. You know what I'm saying? On the doing of whatever it is you're doing. Because I like to see everybody succeed. That's one thing about me. Like I don't understand the hating and because what is even in your own industry. Every other person has a movie that does well. How the hell is that going to hurt me if it does well? Like, you could watch both of our movies in like 4 hours.
Motivation.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so I don't understand that. You know what I mean? And so I'd say that was the first thing. Second thing is I hope they get out of. If you haven't watched our stuff and you're in Cleveland, you should have watched all of it by now. So,
I'm guilty. I'm definitely gonna watch it. ASAP.
Should I be looking this way?
You know what
I mean?
I'm not a TV. I'm a music head.
Oh, okay.
I'm a foodie.
Okay.
Yeah, so I go out to eat and I listen to jams.
Yeah.
So I don't really.
And before I drop the third one, I got a question for you guys, real quick. You know how like everybody thinks short content now and stuff?
Yeah.
How come it's either short content or somebody watches a 12-hour series that they binge watch in a weekend? It's either like
I'm guilty.
That's me. I bet I'm only
that's
like
the type of time
I have to be like.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's how our time is scheduled out. We either got 10 minutes to check it on a lunch break or between calls
or a 3-day weekend.
Or a 3-day weekend. And we like, you know what? I'm finna lay up, get
I didn't
comfy.
think about that. That's real.
It's so true.
I'm guilty.
It hit me one day. Somebody tell me how they're watching these. I'm like, wait, everybody does it. I'm like, but nobody wants to watch a 20-second video on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, so that's weird how that.
Yeah, I need 15 seconds. Please don't make them minute and a half reels. I watched the first, and that's it.
And we do that with our movies. We know we have to draw them in. So our first minute of the movie is always some of the wildest because we want to draw the people in. You know what I mean? Because everybody's ADD. Our society's ADD, and it just is what it is.
You know what I peeped that out on? Ozark.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah,
Ozark had me at the. I was like,
what's the four quadrants? What is this about?
Yeah.
From the beginning, I was like, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
That's what made me realize that it has to be to keep me.
Yeah. That was a good call. I love that show too.
So you would love that movie. In the beginning, it's a I'm not gonna say it all. I can say the beginning. Yeah, it's like the first 15 seconds.
Yeah.
What happens is, it's like, oh snap, my ring went off. What the cuss word is happening here? She's calling, she making a phone call like, hey, it's about to go down. She loading her gun up. She making the Keurig and the coffee and the gun is getting loaded at the same time. Yeah. Like, I'm about to pop this little K-pop, but I'm also about to pop whoever come through this front door. And she making this phone call. You like, oh snap. I'm thinking scam likely it was about somebody in your DMs. It was on and pop. It literally got popping from the beginning. So you would love theirs because it draw you in.
Yeah.
I like that you know. You know what I'm saying? Because nowadays, like you said, we're all ADHD. So we have the immediate for everything. Everything is immediate. So you got to be on top of it right away.
Fun fact, y'all. This was a 2020 fun fact. Humans have the attention span less than a goldfish. Goldfish at least give you 7 seconds. Humans give you 6.25 seconds. I got enough for my industry.
Hey, another fun fact: 1995, you had touched somebody 7 times before they bought from you, and now it's like 47 or something because
they sold all that streaming and ads.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
Oh, and the third thing is we got to start spreading more love. I think.
I love your interview. I
think that's the big thing. I think it's just like a loss of that sometimes. But like I said, I have hope though. I think here's another thing, man. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's the worst times we're living." It's like I've been saying that since I was like 3. You know what I mean? It's always the worst time, right? It's like there's always good and bad. Right. Always, it's like there's always good and bad going on at all times. I think now sometimes it looks bad because a lot of the bad's getting leaked out that was already going on. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think we really just need to be, like you said, we need to bring back the real people need to get with the real people. The fake people keep doing what they're doing.
Right. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. You know? You do feel like things are getting, oh shit. Every time you open it, you watch the news, it's like it's getting worse. But if you think about it, what was worse than back then?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just on
I feel like they're trying to take us back then. They're trying to take us to back then. But this new generation is going to save us from that. They hang with each other. They kick it. They do everything together.
And
they're so diverse. They support. It's about everybody inclusive.
That's it.
So you know.
That's why I said like I'll even make that point to older white people sometimes. I do my part. I'll be like, look, the complaint is, I'm like, well, it's a better time. Yeah, it's good for you, but like, what if it was 1950 and you were black in Birmingham? You know what I'm saying? A whole different game, right? Your world's different. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be more empathetic. There you go. That's probably the best way. That'd be the last thing. Be more empathetic because you don't. Yeah, people don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
They don't. They don't always see. The other side.
Even entrepreneurship, even your employees, like they think, oh, you got everything, I can get like, cause all my friends are regular dudes. Oh, Johnny, get all the hoes, But I had to work for these hoes. You know what I'm saying? I had to work hard for these hoes. You know what I'm saying?
You better answer the right question on October 16th.
Right, y'all. But look, when Johnny comes, y'all know y'all gotta answer those questions well. Right. Johnny got a nice picking. Johnny got a nice picking, so you gotta come with it for
ready.
sure.
That's right. Yeah. I want to hear one question and be like, she's the one. Oh my God. That's not the question.
Heard what he said. It's the question, not the answer. He just want to know that you know the right question.
I know the right question. That's right. Yeah.
That's so funny. I love it.
Get your tickets. Link in the description below.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a time. We're gonna have a time. Trust me, you guys don't want to miss it. Listen, we're gonna have to put some people out. We're gonna have to stop y'all at the door. Don't try to come to the door.
Oh yeah,
it's a wrap. Yeah. It's a wrap.
Please get your tickets.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't have time.
I'm pretty sure this is gonna be one of the best events in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
across the street.
4425. I mean, sorry, 4450 Mayfield Road. That's at the Four Bistro.
All these numbers, man.
I be here every week, legit. Yeah. Taco Thursdays at the 4, karaoke Sundays at the 4, legit any day but Monday and Tuesday right here at 2U Wines.
Shout out to
14% wine. Beneficial Bay Cabernet. Don't worry, y'all know I drop a bomb before I drop these bottles. I'm letting y'all know now. But what I do also want to say, because Brandon usually asks the signature questions, but the conversation around elevation has been flowing.
Yes.
One thing I love that Brandon is very intentional about asking every question, every episode. He asks the question of, in the future, what do you see? Like, where is HWIC Filmworks going from here?
And then for you too, Johnny.
Yeah, it's a good question. Well, yeah, that's a good question too, because the goal really is HWIC Filmworks for me to take myself out of it as a true business person. You know what I mean? I want to see it run by other Clevelanders. You know what I'm saying? Where I throw out my input or whatever. That's the goal eventually. You know what I mean? Eventually get there at some point. But I see that, and I see a big series in the future because I want to like do something big with cause I want to do a series, but it's a lot of work. Like I said, because you're going from an hour and a half of content to 9 hours of content, 12 hours. Yeah. So that's going to be such a pain. I got to have the right team, the right actors. I want to get, you know what I mean? So I see that coming.
I think I want to dibble and dabble.
Okay.
I'm feeling that way right now.
Okay. Yeah. And you never even seen our movies.
No. I'm ready.
I got you. Boy, you're just like a Clevelander.
But I'm ready.
Put me in a movie. Yeah. The awkward ones where I was like, well, we sit with my goddaughter eating a steak.
That's me. I just want the food. Listen, one thing I can't say about HWIC in general, when it comes to the Filmworks, they pull up to all of the good homegrown places. They ain't always trying to take you to fine dining. They trying to take you to the place that make you close your eyes and chew. It's like,
Yes.
Last go round they was at Gus's. Shout out to Gus's.
I like Gus's.
Pull up to the diner.
That was good. Yeah.
Now I have been there.
In the movie, he was even like that double cheeseburger was hitting, and I was like, you know what? They must have really ate that food this day.
Yeah. And I heard it's been more packed since the movie. Like, everybody keeps going up.
I'm
we helped them out.
There.
We helped them out. Yeah, definitely. I want to eventually
have
a little scene at Open Pit or something. You know what I mean? Wherever the good food's at. Kim's Away, whatever. You know what I mean?
And I'm gonna be the extra that day. So when y'all see Beneficial in the Bay back, just tag me on the Cleveland Remembrance or wherever you seen it reposted.
Yep.
We talk about my wig though, because y'all know it don't always be together.
Always.
Yeah. My food budget's crazy on these movies because always, oh my god, we're gonna buy food for it. But that's one thing they'll always say though. He feeds us good. They always say Johnny feeds us good, so that's important.
That's my kind of
That's why he's coming on October 16th.
That's all you need right there.
Yeah. But me personally, personal getting out of it, and then I think, I foresee possibly meet a future wife on October 16th. Oh man, you never know. You know what I mean?
Nice work.
Right. I'm doing my own marketing for you guys. I get it, right? Yeah. So that's about it, man. Nothing too. Just keep doing what I'm doing. I love it. I love what I'm doing. Keep doing. And I'm like, it's funny because people be like, people love to travel, and I do too, like to see family and stuff. But I just like working, man. I love working. I think that being an entrepreneur, and this, and it's like it's not as fun and glorious as everybody thinks it is. I mean, you got to really love what you're doing. You got to work long hours, hard hours, but also do what you love to do and figure out ways to make it easier. That's the goal, right?
Yeah.
Move yourself, right? Exchange labor for your own work. You know what I mean? So that's the goal. That's tough, but it's doable. And that's it. You know what I mean? For me, it's just like keep moving forward and enjoying life. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at.
Spread more love.
Spread more love. That's it, man. For me, that's my goal in life. Spread more love and give people opportunity to enjoy. Like I said, if you watch these movies, like I can't believe when they hear the good stuff, it's like that just makes you feel so good because it's like you realize you touched people and they see themselves on the screen, like Cleveland. And they're like, oh, I can do this. They did it. You know what I mean? There's more going on here than I realized, and it's bringing the city in a positive light. You know what I mean? And that's the important thing. So, and even as people be like, oh. Yeah, your movies they're a little rough, but it's like also it's art imitating life. You know what I mean? Because Jill that wrote the Road Scam Likely, that was based on a true story. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a lot of people doing real estate scams and stuff like that. That's real life stuff. So and Cleveland and Detroit, we're poverty-stricken cities, and you're gonna have those things happening there. You know what I'm saying? It's telling these stories, and the good side too. I just need to get more roles for bless you. Get more roles for. White people love to play the lawyer and the cop every time.
The cop,
the goofy ass cop that I play. But he was funny though.
At least it was a good one. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited about watching.
Man,
I am.
I sat down.
Did you know anybody in it?
Not before the film. The thing, like I said, one of our past guests, he was very, very vocal on the fact that you are very intentional about highlighting entrepreneurs. And I was like, anything they do, I'm supporting. He kept saying, they got a film coming out. They got a film coming out.
That's dope, man.
And I don't know if it was Cleveland Remembrance or whatever, but I was on Instagram one day and I saw a Scam Likely. And I was like, I ain't doing nothing else. And before I binge watched, because I still went and binged, I was like, let me go support the city. I pulled it up. I watched the whole thing. This how good it was. I went to my mama's house, put it up at her house, and watched it again, looking for the phone and everything else, you know, like, because that little stuff matter. But I can say it kept me entertained. I was feeling them, you know, it gave you that emotion, which I love about good movies. It makes you feel whatever is trying to be said at the time. And it was a lot of laughs. It was a lot of real different moments. The actors themselves were awesome. I liked the story itself, and even when they broke down like what the scam was when it came to real estate fraud and different things like that, it made you say, "Wow, you know, this was decent." And like I said, just being a Clevelander and realizing, oh, I know that place, or I know that place. The drone footage is amazing. The angles are amazing. And I know for sure if I'm an extra, he gonna cut out my pudge, make my booty look big. I'm excited.
We got a CGI team for her BBL. So, we're ready to go.
It's on and popping. What's up?
But it makes you feel proud, right?
Absolutely. As a Clevelander, it really does, though. Like, regardless if I'm ever in a movie or not, it's always good to say, you see us again. You know, a lot of times, I say it all the time, it's more to Cleveland than LeBron and Bone.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's it, yeah.
And the fact that you guys are, in a different way, you're doing the same thing we're doing, which is highlighting these people, highlighting these stories, telling them from a different perspective, and showcasing the beauty that our city has to offer. That's one thing I can't appreciate about HWIC.
That's big.
I was just about to say, y'all know me. I said it on the last episode, I was having a terrible day. I'm so glad that we had you and Tiffany.
Yes,
y'all definitely took care of me today. Like I needed y'all episodes today. I was having a bad day, and then just like you said, spreading the love, letting people know what we have to offer in Cleveland, letting people know that the entrepreneurship is huge. It's huge here. You know what I'm saying? It is. It's something special going on, and we're all working together and doing big things, and I just love it.
I think you're making a good point, because you have a lot of entrepreneurs that watch this, right? And I think you gotta try to be around, because like, a lot of times I'm the smartest person in the room, because I have to be. You know what I mean?
Grow.
Like you can't grow. Like so, really getting together is important for all of us to really, at some point, figure that out. Because you're right. These conversations can put you in a good mood.
Yes, really. Because you're not for real.
Yeah,
and it's not just the two you want.
This is true.
No, really.
But it's true.
Yeah, it's like every week we showcase more people and we see more great things, and it's just like, wow. It's wow. It's definitely a wow factor. Like I said, I'm not a TV person, so I'm not hip to you guys. I'm like zero.
Okay, that's all right.
Like zero. I have heard of Scam Likely. I did hear that. But I'm on it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Now I'm on it.
That's what it's about. And that's what every little person that watches it. See, that's why advertising is so important, and marketing and doing these podcasts and doing things, because people find out about you. But you always gotta find the win-win. Back to that, like So win-win, you get to interview guys, you get a guest. You know what I'm saying?
No, we got a guest. You know what I mean? Now they're gonna be lined up at the door like, oh, is he here?
I was trying to get my acting
Well, and it's funny. I always say, I'm like the most famous, least but not known, because like when you're behind the scenes, everybody knows your company, but they kind of heard of you, but they don't really know.
I like behind the
most popular nobody.
I like behind the scenes. I love it.
It's behind the scenes, but that's where I like being too. You know, I'll do a little bit of acting, right? And then that's the only way they'll know.
He played the cop.
I did play the cop. But then people will be like, oh, he's the one that runs. That's how they know who I am, really, more than anything. Unless the actors like put me in, in their things or whatever. But like, remember the scene with the two couple that came in my office, and they were like, the hood couple. Remember they had the landlord, and they were hilarious.
Bonnie and they were very authentic.
But that was authentic, right?
They had the
that was real. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, you're gonna love that part. Yeah.
Oh man,
I can't.
Because she was so honest and the way they story played out, why she didn't.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. I'm not gonna talk about it because y'all need to go see it yourself.
Go watch it.
But
who all hasn't seen it?
Yeah.
If you're like me, if you haven't seen it, if you're like me,
and if you're like me, if you want you to see it, go tell your mama, your aunties.
Right. That's the biggest thing you can do for it. Yep. Tell anybody you think would like it. Yep.
Have a silent list.
And it's free. It's on Tubi. It's free.
Right.
Yeah. You don't have to pay for it.
You don't even got to sign in as a guest.
Too, I'll be on there, you know, as a real estate agent, you know what I'm saying?
He's definitely going to be the guy pushing the cart on the sidewalk. He going to get his 3 seconds of fame for sure because the drone footage from Dave Snyder is the truth. He's definitely, y'all going to recognize him. We might even put on a red shirt and khakis just so y'all can think it was Dave from State Farm. Jake from State Farm.
There you go. T1, glass gone.
Mind your business. You minding our business.
Both of the glasses gone.
Don't act like you don't act the same way.
I do. That's why I'm not drinking tonight, y'all. But
last question. No, one more question.
One more question.
Legacy. So we talked about the future, and that's all great. But like, what is the stuff you want to be remembered for, or do you want HWIC to be remembered for?
I think the whole as a team, because I'm big on team. You know what I'm saying? Both, but I think it was at the end of the day it was my vision. You know, seeing it from the very beginning, it's cool to see it. Just everybody recognizes somebody who was trying to spread love. You know what I'm saying? And bring Cleveland up. You know, that's really a big because like I said, when I moved here from Youngstown, I was at a down point. Everybody brought me up, so I think I always remember that. Now, you know what I'm saying? I think it always. You know what I mean? So like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Y'all showed out, CLE.
And I think I saw the goodness in them that they didn't see in themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because I was in that place. So I think being able to do that, I want to be remembered for like, oh, he helped. You know what I'm saying? Helped us improve the city and the I don't want to vibe, but more than that, even like the legacy of the city. You know what I mean? Like kind of like even what they're doing in Detroit. You know what I mean? You know, our movies are a little more thought provoking than theirs. There's more just hood movies, but you know what I'm saying? To be honest,
it's the truth though.
It's the truth though. That's more accurate than
way better stories.
Yeah. Our stories are more complex and stuff and deeper. But you know, and tell stories. I mean, because you have to admit, when you watch it, you know that made you think of Cleveland. Like
it does.
Like you said,
even the housing, the industry itself, it makes you feel like, dang, that's what they do.
And you get houses so cheap here. That's why, and you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So, so to be remembered for that would be huge. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have kids. I have my friend that passed away, Ralph's son. His daughter's my goddaughter. So like I take her. You know what I mean? So like for her, yeah. You know, like for her, you know what I'm saying, to have all that too. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? But as far like, I feel like, you know. This is kind of like the unpopular way, but when you're gone, at some point everybody kind of gets forgotten. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like to leave your footprint that you want, and that's most important. Good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It really
you know what I mean?
It really is.
Yeah.
That's what I think about every day. I want to leave a footprint where people know exactly who I was.
And what you were standing for, right? What you stood for. Unity and bringing people together and love and everything. You know what I mean? That's for me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure it sounds like for you too. Yeah. So, you know, but everything, I mean, things get forgotten, man. You remember Ponderosa, right? Look, things get forgotten.
They really real quick.
You know what I mean?
Ponderosa was the spot.
It was the spot, right? But let's be honest, you haven't thought about it until I brought it up, right?
No,
it's forgotten.
I have not.
You know, and our great grandkids won't ever know about
right.
But you know,
so true.
That is so crazy.
Right?
You're so right. Yeah.
You know, so every little thing you do, just try to leave an impression on people as best you can, like things like this or whatever. You know what I mean? Try to. At least, like you said, you had a bad day. It makes me feel good that you got a good day now because, you know what I mean?
Truly.
Changed it all around. So that's important.
Yeah. You need that.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, no, we can't close no better than that, yo.
Hey, sir, you sound like you might got the...
Like he got the 2U tingles.
No, not at all. Because I know we couldn't Johnny Time now.
Oh, let me not cut into Johnny Time because he about to be outside, y'all. So before he goes spread the love to his other entrepreneur friends, let's make sure we spread the love to ours. Now, we got to pay some bills. Because if we're going to talk about all this streaming, all this platform, first thing we got to do is thank y'all for the viewership.
Yes.
We appreciate y'all for showing up. We appreciate y'all for subscribing. We appreciate y'all for coming back and bringing a friend next time. So thank you in advance for everything that y'all are giving us for episode 71. We also want to thank HWIC Filmworks. If you want to catch up on any of the old projects, be a part of any of the new projects, send a suggestion or even leave a little hate. We got all of the information in the description below. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. Put it in your stories. It's only 24 hours. That's all we need to make sure we get one more view.
From us every
I
As always, y'all see the teal blue in the background. Y'all know exactly where I'm at, and y'all heard all these laughs and smiles. Y'all don't think that came from the day I had today, did you? 14% alcohol, handcrafted wine from a black woman here in Cleveland, Ohio. At 2U Wines, 4425 Mayfield Road, South Euclid, Ohio, 44121. You actually get to meet Nakia in person. Yes, she is a vibe like this in real life. She is, surprisingly. Y'all know how it is. That's how we snagged her for the podcast. We came up in here. It was lit. So any day but Sunday or Monday, you can, or actually Monday, Tuesday, you can actually come up in here and see her. She does great dates, wine tastings, events for your birthday parties. The patio is open, wine slushies, Thirsty Thursdays. She even has a wonderful event. It's coming up this Sunday. It's called Baker Gate. So it's a 420 friendly event. So depending on how baked you want to get, whether it's Baker Mayfield or if you actually, you know what I'm saying, need to go outside and hit the patio, they got everything for you. $40 gets you everything. It's an all-inclusive event package. Food,
lots of
drink, vendors, obviously the 420 friendly events. Make sure you guys go and support. Actually, don't try to pull up at the door because the tickets are going pretty fast. What I definitely need you to do is click the link in the description below. Make sure you go get it. It's also available in her bio at 2. That's the number 2 YOU Wines on Instagram. You can also get it at All Ball Family. They are working together because we're all about collaboration over competition. We also want to shout out the people behind the camera here at the PullUp Experience. First person I gotta shout out is my bro, Steve. Alien Eyes Photo. That's Alien Eyes with a Z. Now, y'all know how it is. We go through all of the semantics of trying to make sure that the event is the best it can be. We want our attendees to feel it. We want the people we throwing it for to feel it. We want to feel it a little bit ourselves when we ain't running around trying to get from the kitchen back to the table, trying to steal electric slide and wobble or whatever it is that you do. If you want to make sure that you are creating and capturing all of the memorable moments, you have to hit him up. He is the best when it comes to event photography, learning, growing, and the turnaround time is ridiculous. I mean, you can blink and it's there in your inbox, and that's the part that I love the most.
So true.
So as long as we are not having an event for the PullUp Experience, make sure y'all book Steve because his calendar might be open. You got to do that early though, in advance. So as long as you know you want him, which you do, hit him up. That's at Alien Eyes. That's Alien Eyes with a Z. Photos. He'll be happy to hit you up.
And Steve is also available for content creation.
Yes.
Steve put those slushies together that dun I told y'all, I was like, yes, Steve, that's it. Steve is available for content creation. If you want someone to create your content for your business, have something to come out for your people so they can see and come to your business and buy from your business every month. He can put something together for you. It's dope. I love it. Steve is my content creator.
Yes. Promotional marketing is amazing. Video marketing is getting pushed the most. So when it comes to promoting yourself, especially with video footage, this is the guy you need to see. The second one behind the cam, which we don't always see because sometimes she's actually like an adventurer when it comes to hiking, running, climbing, jumping, whatever it is. She'll break a toe for you if she has to. She's going to capture the shot. This is our Vogue style editorial shoot professional. Her name is Angie, but her Instagram name is at Where's Arlo. Where's she at? Man, she's out there getting what you need.
But guess what? what? You'll see her on friendly. You'll see her on October 16th.
And she's definitely here with the turn up. October 16th.
And she's part of the crew in our new movie too.
Absolutely. Yes, she loved Johnny.
Yeah, she's part of our crew.
See what I'm
Production
saying?
assistant on Locked In.
Yeah.
Tell it again. Angie is the plug and the outlet out here, y'all. So whatever you need, that's definitely the one you need to come and see. When it comes to Scam Likely, we told you to watch it on YouTube. You'll also get to learn all of the fraud that's in the real estate industry. But if you're looking for something realistic and authentic, hit up my bro Brandon, man, at Not Your Average Agent on Instagram.
By no means
Don't
average.
be intimidated by the following, because my bro got a good 25K by itself. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to local celebrities, this is definitely one you definitely want to hit up, right? So, at Not Your Average Agent, we call him that for a reason. That's his moniker, but that's also his motto and his mission. He is on a mission to build 100 homeowners here in the city of Cleveland. Now, he's going to answer the phone when you call, which is a biggie. He's going to take you and meet you at all the different places that you pick out. He's going to show you the difference between the Zillow listing and what actually is here on the MLS. Then, once you realize that you might not be ready, and before you try to break out on yourself and tap out, he's going to pull you right back in, get your credit together, you know what I'm saying, and hook you up. Not only that, though, let's say you decide, hey, this might be for me. I want to get into this game. It's one of those things that never changes. One of those things that is here forever. I want to be somebody who sells real estate. I want to be an agent. Is he a hater? No, of course not. Do we deal with haters?
Not.
Come on, man. Come on with him now. He'll actually put you onto his brokerage, help you study for the test itself, get you all the way together, set you up, and teach you how to do your social media marketing. Stop playing with us. When it comes to the PullUp,
and next up is Benefical Bay.
It's me.
Y'all already know. We don't have to say much about Benefical. Y'all see her every week. But she will definitely keep you on top of your game with your business, teach you how to scale your business organically. You don't have to spend all that money. You don't have to do all of that. She has you covered. She's going to show you how you can grow your business. Like I said, I have personal friends that have gone to Benefical Bay's classes. They are now being monetized on Facebook, IG. She's the real deal. I mean, come on. You already know that. We don't have to tell you that. She's the real deal. She's on top of her game. She keeps you up and coming and keeps you with all the content that you need for your business to grow. She puts those systems in place. Listen, excuse me. Benefical Bay can teach you how to work your business without even being there. Come on. It's a real deal. It's the real deal. Y'all know. We don't have to tell you. If you haven't reached out to Benefical Bay, what are you doing? What are you doing with yourself? What are you doing with yourself? It's only me and Brandon's that are her bad students.
We're the worst students. We the worst every week, you know what I'm saying?
But we see her make it happen with everybody. Truly. She's the real deal. She's the real deal. So reach out to Benefical Bay if you want to upscale your business, if you want to move to the next level, if you want to start your business. She can definitely teach you everything you need to know social media wise. She can teach you how to get your LLC. She can teach you how to get your, what is it, DUNS number, all of that. She has it covered, truly. Yeah. She's the real deal.
She's a real customer because she'll stay your ass. So,
she's the general. We call her the general.
We call her general for a reason, you know what I'm saying?
And I call her money because it's always money. It's always money. Whatever she has to tell you, it's money. It's money in the bag, period.
I'm going to pay money for this promotion. I promise y'all I am. But when it comes to systems and everything else that you need, I would be remiss if I did not mention our girl, Kanisha. Now, she's got a shop located out in Maple Heights if you want to pull up and see what you need, because you never know what you don't know that you actually need it. But if you need props for the next film, if you need anything to promote the next event that you are doing or help decorate it, because one thing about capturing a moment is making sure that's a moment to capture in the first place. Mm-hmm. Our girl Kanisha at All Occasions 216 is definitely the lady you need to hit up when it comes to marquee letters, whether it's regular or the ones with the lights, the bohemian style, old school cabaret chairs, whether you just need regular tables, chairs, whatever, a desk for when you want to play a cop, we got it covered. Make sure you hit our girl up and tell her that the PullUp Experience sent y'all. Man, and the last but not least, we know how hard it is. We touched on this a lot this particular episode. It's all about marketing, being very intentional and consistent with the way that you market. Because we are moving into a digital age, we want to be very 420 friendly, especially if you are pulling up to Baker Gate this Sunday. Make sure you get a ticket in the description below. But if you are 420 friendly anyways, the worst thing you could do is try to go online, get them $10, try to think you have to get 500 business cards, or go spam somebody's club parking lot and put all these flyers in the windshields. We ain't doing that no more. We got an easier way. Let me tell you exactly how. Our partners over here at Social Master do something a little bit different. It's a credit card type of business card with a QR code on it, right? And it has an NFC chip. So as long as they get close enough, whether they scan it with their phone or get too close to you and they kind of in your breathing room, their phone will scan it anyways. It will pull up your physical address, your email address, your web address, your Cash App and PayPal, and all of your social media information. They'll be able to easily add you to contacts. Either way, they'll have the tab open. So when they go to play Wordle the next day, or just go Google something that they didn't know, like what is promotion or influencer marketing or whatever Brandon's about to Google after he go take his notes to this. Make sure that they'll see you in there. Not only will they open a new tab to do whatever they meant to do, they'll actually go back, so you won't be at the bottom of their purse or stuck in between their wallet with all the best intentions. They'll actually be intentional about actually following up on that, because anything worth getting a lead for is following up with. We already talked about that. Thank y'all so much. We are at episode 71.
71. And what a great episode.
Locked up. When Locked Up premiere, we'll be at the premiere.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Absolutely.
I could even bring an actor on if you want me to.
Yeah, why not? This is about the family.
Yeah.
We family. You're an alumni now.
Speaking of family, because we about to grow this thing right here. We about to find a love connection. October 16th. Come on, man. It's Sunday. Now it starts at 2. Please be on time though. Doors open
Jack
at
Harlow's
1.
father.
Come on now.
We don't want any copyright music here, but there's a meeting in my bedroom.
But before y'all think y'all taking us to bed, make sure y'all meet us at the 4. The address is 4450 Mayfield Road, South Euclid, 44121. Doors open at 1 o'clock. Go and get your tickets right now, because if you think you're gonna pull up to us at the door, you're gonna be disappointed. It's gonna be standing room only. We are so close. So go and get your ticket right now today. Again, we already got 2 contestants right here. I'm about to be on there.
Okay.
Johnny's gonna be on there. We're gonna see who gets chose, y'all. Let's see. It might be fun.
And we forgot. We can have so many. The 4 is like a home, by the way, guys.
The 4B Strong Wine Bar. 4B Strong Wine Bar.
Right.
Fantastic food. Fantastic energy and vibe. Rhonda is there. She's gonna come and say hello to everybody. She makes you feel so at home.
Not too
Very
Hollywood.
special place. It's nice and classy.
Yes.
For our classy people. If you for people my age, if you want to come out and you don't want to go to somewhere where because back in our day we used to kick it. We know it's not our day anymore, guys. It's not our day anymore. We gotta go to some places where we feel welcome, where it's a nice vibe. Perfect spot. It's my neighborhood spot. That's what I do. When you see me out, you always see the 4 in the background. That's what I do.
Facts.
We're in the mix of the 27th of September. We almost forgot about that. 6 o'clock, guys. We'll see you there. Want to meet dope people like Johnny, Marquita, Nakia, Steve, myself. Come on out, guys. Once again, we're like you said, collaboration over competition. We're meeting great people and we're collaborating. You might be Johnny next actor. You might.
That's me.
No,
right.
My bad. You might find your next coach.
You
might see Steve about your about content for your next video and whatnot. Collaborating with dope people in the city. So come on out, guys. You know how we do. We put together the best events and a great mixer. So don't miss out, guys.
Yes.
And if you're somebody who want to do everything that we do and y'all trying to steal it anyway, pay the money, come pull up anyway, so you can see how it's done in real life. I don't know why. Anyways, please don't let me, because I'm going to shout you out on your story and tell you about yourself. So if you want to see how it's done, you might as well get a front row seat. Y'all know exactly who I am and how I am. Don't play.
Episode 71.
Episode 71. We appreciate you guys checking in. We love you. Thank you so much for bringing us to this point.
Absolutely.
Keep watching. We're gonna keep bringing you dope people like Johnny. This I love this episode. Yeah. Yes, it's fire for sure.
Till next time, be good or be good at it.
Peace.
Bye. Peace.